Thank you so much, Anand May, for joining us on this podcast at Live. Thanks for taking out time to share your insights with our audience. This is going to be a very different session because I think we have never hosted podcast on these topics before.
Yeah,
So,
this is the future.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to be a pretty interesting one and a great learning experience for me as well. You, Miss Anand May is a seasoned business leader in the personal care, cosmeceutical, and nutraceutical industries. Complex names like with nearly 2 decades of experience spanning product innovation, formulation R&D, and strategic business growth. She is currently director personal care at Agrizi. She drives business strategy, product development, and market expansion initiatives. She was previously vice president business development at Sami Sabinsa Group, yes, where she led cross-functional teams across India and ASEAN, delivering consistent double-digit growth while overseeing ingredients, formulations, and commercialization. She has a strong foundation in pharma and cosmeceuticals. She has successfully launched multiple innovative products, built high performing teams, and translated scientific expertise into scalable, profitable business outcomes. Welcome you, ma'am. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Rishikesh, for your kind word. And cosmeceutical and nutraceutical not so tough. Pharmaceutical, just remove pharma and add cosmetic and nutraceutical. Thanks a lot for that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The first thing that we would like to pick your mind on is that since you have already worked extensively across personal care and cosmeceutical industries, specifically in ingredient led product development. In your experience, what determines whether a new cosmetic or active ingredient successfully translates into a commercially viable product for brands? And where do most of the companies struggle in this journey?
Yeah, so the this may be new for you, but I belongs to the healthcare industry and wellness industry. Slowly moved from my background is BSc in geology, life science, and then MBA in IT and marketing in 2002. From that time, I worked in different companies, but ultimately I shifted my base is wellness industry from 2010. Before that, I was in pharma. So here the question which you asked, because this I am giving you the answer based upon my experience. Because day and night I am meeting with the customer and developing the product and herbal extract and the cosmetic formulation, nutraceutical formulation. So the thing which guide any industry or especially cosmetic and nutraceutical, because I am feeling that there is a difference. You must be knowing cosmetic, lipstick.
Yes.
Many people still they believe that cosmetic will ruin your skin, but it's that is color. But there is a difference if you take proper skincare and that too with the proper food. You must be knowing like in your childhood or your family, people are telling you, yeah, you can drink turmeric milk to immunity building or whatever, black pepper, kadha, chai,
Yes.
that all you people take, right? But there is evidence like why this turmeric, that haldi powder, why it's working for immunity.
Mm.
One content is there that is curcumin, and
Yeah.
curcumin is the like in 1 kg just 0.3% is just 0.3% is curcumin in 1 kg of powder. So curcumin is there. By using this curcumin, we remove the color we use in cosmetic as a tetrahydrocurcumin. Same we can use as a supplement in a proper doses, defined dosage. So evidence, innovation, and commercialization, because anything you can make in world, but unless and until it is not going to the market and repeat purchase you are not getting, I think that will sustain in long run in the future. Whether AI will come, AI is coming, but that it will not take away this part of it. It will focus more on R&D, innovation, techno marketing, and scalability of the ingredient. So that's the thing from my side.
So where do companies like commit mistakes while they are kind of translating these, formulations into commercially viable products?
Yeah. So since I am handling new product development, and that's my forte also. So what happened? Many company, whenever I was in Sami also here also Agrizi also, I always tell scientists, our formulation scientists or phyto scientists, that unless and until product is coming out from your lab, there is no much. It should reach to the commercial stage, and ultimately, unless and until it will not help to the consumer,
Yes.
people are investing a lot on R&D. But if it is not going, for example, I'll give you one example of the cosmetic, one ingredient. The price is 1 lakh, one ingredient, and we use in cosmetic minimum 20, including everything, to develop a cosmetic, or maybe 10 to 30, 40 it goes.
Yeah.
So if one ingredient I am using 2% out of 100%, that is only going 1 lakh rupees. And then 2% in the cost will go high. So common public, how they can use that ingredient? Yeah, one small percentage of people can afford 3,000, 4,000 product. But mostly people want below 1,000 product or below 500 product. Cosmetic especially. Nutrition, they can invest up to 1,000 rupees, unless and until it is SOS. So wellness is a preventive medicine. So I want to look you young till end, or I don't want acne to come or skin to brighten, glow, whatever. I invest on myself, but I cannot invest too much on that. So it should scale to the market, and it is affordable, and having some story of it, which people can connect. So complete transition, science, innovation, and the scalability and the affordability. So all four are important.
Yes. That is so well said, ma'am, because it should have a story behind it. Likewise, you were talking about turmeric.
Yeah.
When, some product sells in the market and they talk around turmeric, people, kind of instantly, kind of relate to it because they have been seeing it from their childhood.
Yeah.
So it should have a story.
Lip balm.
Yes.
We developed for smoker lips also for lightening. Many lipstick user as a primer.
Yeah.
So when we are using all the food flavor in that, people feel like eating. It's a vanilla, it's a coffee. So when you apply, you don't feel like I have applied some Vaseline or something. Something you feel like licking and you feel like applying. It will take care of your lips also. So this kind of innovation is required even in the formulation level.
Ma'am, in the specialty ingredients and nutraceutical industry, differentiation is often based on science, efficacy, and trust.
Yeah.
So how do you position ingredient innovations in a way that enables brand and manufacturers to see clear commercial value rather than just viewing them as just another raw materials?
Yeah. So again, I'll give you some example. My favorite curcumin again. So or anything ashwagandha I'll take. So ashwagandha now even in Cambridge they have introduced it as even the pharma doctor introduced as a stress management alternative therapy. So it is having one adaptogen which works in the withenoid content. That is the science of it. So it is there. But ashwagandha is very bitter in nature. So maybe in our company we can have 2.5 root extract and the whole plant. There's many science behind it. We come up with the 2.5%, 5%, 10% is the maximum. And then lab you can do. You can have unless and until it is having the evidence proper. It is adaptogen. It is working for the stress management, and people should consume it. So ingredient and then its application part of it is very important. Ingredient, then the claim, scientific evidence, clinical trial, proper. This ingredient of mine works in the evidence of that. And so the people can claim an application part of it, whether it should use in a beverage grade, whether it is used in a capsule, whether in an effervescent form. So convertibility in the product form, that is application is important. So it should be same my like ingredient to the commercial stage. It should travel properly with the documentation, evidence and all. So that's the journey of the ingredient to get successful in the market. And we keep on, like people now drink a lot, beverage grade ingredient. Like curcumin is insoluble. Very even ashwagandha is very bitter in nature. So when you will not feel like it drinking anything which is very bitter. So we mask the taste of it. Recently one patent we have filed in our Agrigi. It has Diavel is the trademark. Combination of it has jamun seed, which is very bitter. But we have made a mix of it, milk mix or hot water. You can mix it and have it. It has moringa and all in that. So that innovation, and then is people feel like eating. They don't mind changing. Like people like us, you, me, or any of your parents,
Yeah.
they feel like skipping their tea and taking this, it will give the benefit, but pleasure also. It has a vanilla flavor or
Yes.
something, or in the soup form. So that application part is very important, other than claim and innovation, for the ingredient to be successful, in my point of view.
That is so well said, ma'am. Application part is very important as compared to claim and
Innovation.
innovation. Yes. But I was thinking, like, sometimes when we drink these bitter things, we also get a good feeling in our mind that, I'm doing something good for my body. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
good.
it's right. When your children will not like that, again, palatability is important.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, when we age, we are more wellness conscious. Now the kids also, they don't eat sweets.
Yeah.
Now you can see. So they don't like to eat sweets, chocolate much, because so much awareness now because of a digital thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to innovate. So blend formula we made with light taste to it, so that you feel like drinking it more or eating it more. So that's the shift you can see from the capsule and tablet. People are using effervescent drink, just mix a sachet, have it, or drink ready to drink. Even electrolytes are coming like that. You can see
Yeah.
earlier electrol powder was
Yes.
now you can see many format has come.
Yes.
And other than that, we people are adding so many things. In our time, I think when RS was there, it was so bitter. Even
Yes.
electrol is bit palatable, but that was so bitter, we don't feel like eating. So now it changed. You will feel it's a pleasure drink now, even when you keep on sipping. So that's all. Innovation is required when wellness, and post COVID, everyone has become more like preventive medicine or wellness is gaining popularity, and because of this AI and all, everyone knows what is hyaluronic acid, what is glutathione, what is curcumin, so what is ashwagandha. So people feel like pepper extract. We used to have kara, right? You remember? Whenever something honey, ginger.
Even now we have now.
So it is good for your lung. And also when it is mixed with haldi, I mean curcumin, it enhances the bioavailability, the absorption, digestion of it in layman language, digestion of it in our stomach. When pinch of pepper, we will add in curcumin. So that's why people used to have kara, pinch of haldi, then gol mirch. So we mix it and boil it and have it. So that is the reason. That is more into, we are coming to more like traditional or holistic medicine with evidence we are adding to it, and the application part we are increasing.
Right. I had a question on this. Like, in this pursuit of making things sweet to drink and, kind of, are we also compromising on, the ingredients or the benefits part? Is it harmful also in one way or the other?
No, like in our R&D, we develop like collagen shot we have made for anti-aging. People are feeling that collagen is just for anti-aging, but it is very good for your joint support. Even hyaluronic acid, people are feeling that is good. That is one of the building block of collagen. So that is very good for your joint support. If you take a daily collagen supplement, your joint, we have many joints, right? So it will increase the fluid, and so that's the thing. So whenever we are using, now coming to your questions, whenever we are using anything like sugar-free formulation, so earlier people are adding aspartame and all, which is not very good in long run. But stevia, which is a plant extract again, and monk fruit, till also 0.001% also you will add, you will get very much sweeter. You will feel like, yeah, I'm adding 2 spoon of sugar in that. So this kind of we are using active, plant active, because whenever anything we develop, the safety and efficacy both are equally important. Whenever personally I develop, or any formulator or any R&D people, if develop the efficacy and safety, both are important. Even the cosmetic, when we are developing in our lab, our scientists always maintain the pH. Our skin is bit acidic. Your science background must be knowing the pH scale, right? So our skin is bit acidic. So if you use alkaline like soap and all, and so it will, anything you apply, it will not enter into your skin. So there is just a top up. So
Mm.
for that skincare, we maintain the same 4 to 5 pH. We maintain the even the cosmetic thing. And when we are adding in Nutra thing, when we are adding some bioavailability enhancer or liposomal active, which get absorbed in our stomach faster, our
Right.
blood system faster, and it acts. So safety and efficacy is very much important for any of this cosmetic, Nutra or cosmeceutical or product. So pharma is SOS has done, but when your long-term treatment, calcium supplement you are eating, or any protein supplement you are eating, or any B12, everything, yeah, vitamin males, safety profile is very much important for any ingredient. So it should not harm harm the people when you
Yes.
are applying or even you are taking it.
Yes. Makes sense, ma'am. Ma'am, you have led formulation, product development, and business expansion across personal care and nutraceutical sectors.
Mm.
What are the biggest operational and strategic challenges which companies face when scaling from custom formulation projects to building large and sustainable product driven business?
Yeah, so this is whenever we are, because
Mm.
many people, many customers comes to us and they will ask similar question, why I should come to you? Maybe on their face it must be there behind their mind. Why I'll come to you when I can go directly to the manufacturer?
Yes.
So even in SAMI or whether in Agrezi, we don't have our own manufacturing unit
Mm.
for the formulation.
Mm.
It's not possible to make because we have different format, different grade, different batch size.
Yeah.
So when lab, for example, if your Rishikesh wanted to launch something, Rishi Nutrition or something by using some of your herb from your area, people are like, that is there. That's why many entrepreneurs are coming back to this industry.
Yeah.
So if you feel like I want to use this and want to make something like that, some drink, some tea, something, you will come to us. A hot sip I wanted to make by using this from the Rishikesh, something I'm just saying, will come to us. Then when you're coming to us, you will feel like why I should go to Anandme, why I can directly go to the manufacturing unit, I can get
Yes.
it done. Where the problem happens, so when you will not research R&D.
Mm.
So your need is there. You need one immunity drink or
Yes.
immunity hot sip. You wanted that Karha,
Yeah.
modern version, if you wanted to have. So you wanted to, I want that with this all ingredient we will add. In that, we will develop the formula in our lab. But when it is going to the commercial stage, initially must be 5,000, 10,000 unit. But when it is going to 1 lakh, 10 lakh, or crores unit. At time, same formula, what you have developed 50 gram in the lab or 100 gram in the lab, the scalability
Mm.
from lab 50 gram to 5,000 unit.
Yeah.
5,000 liter.
Yes.
Here everything, so here 2 3 analytical, like my product should not change when it is going from lab to the manufacturing unit. What all ingredient, when we are giving any cosmetic, also tech transfer we call it, to the manufacturing unit, we give the BOM, bill of material.
Yes.
This material I have taken from this manufacturer. Then the process, repetitive process, MFR we call, manufacturing process record. That is like after 2 3 transaction, we repeat the formula in lab and even the R&D lab of the manufacturing unit. Unless and there is a finished product analysis, it should match with all these standard analytics. And the if cosmetic in like Himalaya region is very cold.
Mm.
But if you go in our like Calcutta region or tropical climate, is hot. Or Delhi in summer is very hot. But in winter it is very cold. So when product travel into different like geography, it should maintain that, we call it stability data. We do the high temperature stability as well as room temperature stability before launching the product. 3 months we do all this R&D. So the product even after 100 years, it should remain the same. Brands are there, they maintain the same quality. So that is important. So lab to the commercial stage, the journey should be well defined with well documentation and analytical data and
Yes.
control of the supply chain. These three,
Correct.
four, supply chain or operation, that is very, you cannot remove any active. Even perfume, you cannot make without
Yes.
having all the ingredient and proper mixing. So all SOP of the documentation and the process documentation is very much important. It is digitalized now, by using our system. So that is very important when you do the scalability from the R&D to big manufacturing. Here the success lies, the journey.
That is
from
really critical, ma'am, because yes, you're absolutely right. So I was talking to a very senior manufacturing leader. He was also telling that, our role comes in when we have to create an SOP and give it to the manufacturers so that they can follow that process. So for a lot of brands which think that they can directly go to the manufacturers, this R&D is missing.
Yeah. Or they have small. They have, but small. But this much, because I am 23-year-old in the industry. My scientist is also 22 years. All are operation guys. So these all problem comes. Packing materials. Some packing material react with the cosmetic. It tends to change color. Herbal cosmetic, it tends to change color. If you use more of acid, vitamin C, AHA, BHA, the formulation color change. So you need to add stabilizer preservative to maintain it till 2 years.
Yes.
Because self life is also very much important when we use cosmetic or any food products. That is again, we need to be very much documented.
Yes.
And the proper supply chain operation is very much important when lab to commercial stage products. Operation, which we call a supply chain, which is very much important.
And ma'am, cosmeceutical and dermatology driven personal care industry, it sits at the intersection of pharmaceutical and consumer products, somewhere in between. So how do companies build credibility and long-term competitive advantage in this space, especially when customer trust and clinical efficacy play such a critical role?
Yeah. So now our consumer are not earlier consumer now, because of our mobile, and anyone use that, they see YouTube. Maybe they can't read, but they can hear YouTube. We can ask anything. Now though it's very easy. So I feel in the future, I always tell also like this. So cosmetic and cosmeceutical, they will club one, like functional cosmetic. Cosmeceutical is a functional cosmetic basically, which we can use in long run. That's the main thing. And the nutrition and pharma will become one, because SOS medicine we cannot take for long run. Whether it's anything, it will affect some of the organ. But even you can see, notice even the after cataract operation also, which is a very common surgery. People are like doctors are giving this lutein supplement. Lutein is nothing but this marigold extract. Marigold, na, genda ka fool. So marigold extract, xanthan, it is having lots of clinical data for the. So people are giving, even for diabetic people are giving supplement. Even heart coenzyme, coenzyme Q10 people are giving just to like wellness medicine, nutraceutical. So evidence is required. Anything, even coming to the derma thing. So derma is basically dermatology. So functional cosmetic, which is having the efficacy and safety. Here the validation is important. If I am, for example, recently we have developed for one derma company sunscreen. It is waterless sunscreen with the SPF 50, and it's a silicone based. So people feel like silicone blocks the pore. So that is true also. So I'll get acne or comedone or something. So what we do, we have done the study on it. So it is non-comedogenic. If you apply it, it will not give you acne because it is not. So this kind of evidence, it is pH balance or dermatologist tested. It's because every skin is different. So that validation and claim efficacy is very much important. Anything is going. For example, you will go for hair loss, for scalp. If you go to, I have many dandruff in my scalp. You will go to the. If they will write you shampoo, serum, and supplement, you will definitely buy, right? Because you will feel like it is a medicine.
Yes.
Correct. So in that, medicine should have evidence, like study per study. Listen, it is not there, it's just a normal thing. So these all things are important when the dermatologist, and functional cosmetic is very much important. Like if you apply something and if my skin will not, and I'll come to the doctor, why you said I paid so much, 2000 on complete regimen and my skin is still the same. So I need some difference. So these all things are important when people are going to the derma segment, and they need functional and the active percentage. Salicylic should be 2%, and regulatory is very much important. because you cannot have anything which will harm your skin or body in long run. Where the regulatory climb comes, and it is country centric. India ka regulation will not work on UK regulation. They have some system, we have some regulation. So our lab should design something based upon that need of that country, and it should evidence is having, yeah, this will work in this, and mode of application. Like in our company, whenever I am developing something and once it is reached to the commercial stage, so after that I personally work on the technical document of the, and I gave almost 20-page document, rational, this is product, this is ingredient, and this is the benefit of the ingredient, this is overall benefit, this is direction for use, this is the safety guideline, this is the proper storage guidelines, so that their team, if they are only into marketing, they should not do any different, and also give some, if ingredient is having some study, we share with the client. So this kind of validated claim as well as scientific input to it, plus commercial, that is important even for the dermas.
There was a question coming to my mind. I think it will be a silly one, but when you go to a dermatologist for say skincare, she prescribes completely different set of medicines or kind of thing,
Cosmetic
as
nutrition.
compared to when you go for an OTC kind of a thing, which you can order from Amazon and all these things. It's different. So इनको कोई regulation नहीं चाहिए, उनको कुछ regulation चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ difference है?
नहीं होता क्या है कि usually doctors, they don't write something which is in OTC market, that is there. So they still consider whatever they are prescribing, it is medicine for them. For doctors' mindset I'm talking about, because it's a medicine for the common public. So whenever there, for example, any doctor will not prescribe you any face wash, any dermatologist will not prescribe you any face wash which is having SLS in it.
Yes.
Or that detergent is basically SLS is a detergent which we use in our floor cleaner. Even shampoo they will not use. So they have some process, and they maintain, like with the face wash you cannot become bright. It will just cleanse.
Yes.
Then they will give you serum which will give you proper targeted delivery.
Yes.
Then you can use any moisturizer because serum has higher act. So maybe long run it will affect your skin. So they will give you something to moisturize it, and sunscreen, because sun is the main culprit for our skin brightening or aging. So sunscreen to top it over. They will give you. Evening they will ask you use same cleanser, apply any night cream. Or one supplement based upon the function, Nutri-Cosmetic, they will give. Whether same is for the hair, scalp also they follow. They follow the regimen. And if anyone visit to the dermatologist, and you can see the difference within 2-3 months in your skin, hair, body care, everywhere you can see the difference, because they use science. Even I'll give you an example. Glycolic acid, you must be knowing. So the main source, the natural source of glycolic is from the sugarcane extract. So although the glycolic, and people are using up to home care, also for the body care, up to 10% they are using. But doctor will, when they will prescribe you, they will use it only in the night, because daytime if you use, it will react with sun rays, and your skin will become more darker. Layman I can say. So these all things, take care, because they are there.
With your experience across these ingredients, formulation, and finished product commercialization in the personal care and nutraceutical industries, what structural shifts do you believe will redefine the value chain over the next decade, particularly in areas like ingredient innovation, product differentiation, and global market expansion?
Mainly the thing, earlier only marketing claim used to rule.
Yes.
Yeah, onion lagao and you will get the growth. But shampoo with onion shampoo, how you will get the growth? Onion works. It has sulfur in it. This is the main thing for your keratin. Keratin is a protein through which our hair is built up. So this part is there. So evidence plus claim, again proper claim, and the analytical part of it. And the formulation, SOP, and the documentation, all the analytical document and the process transfer, then when we are scaling it up, and the application part of it. So these four only innovation is required, even for culture sake. But innovation plus analytics of it, the analytical R&D, then there's operation and your supply chain excellence, and the scalability. but it should start from the need. If I have some need, the product should develop around that, will bring the innovation, and the events, it should be it should have proper story. Emotion is very much important for any product to success, any product. So marketer plays with the emotions of the consumer, which is very much important. Plus we can have the ethnic knowledge of it, and the analytical R&D proper. Yeah, this will do this, and the evidence, clinical trial, and the evidence of it. Scale it up, and continuous scale of that, and innovation in future stage when the product reach to the last cycle. So these all are very much important for R&D to commercial. So techno marketer, I always tell I am a techno commercial person. I'm not a pure R&D person, because I don't know chemistry proper to develop that. For that, I have R&D. That is important. I am bridge between the marketer and the R&D. So these three sectors should be interlinked, and this is blurring. I mean, if you see like lab to manufacturing site to to the product, this very thin line, or it should be one. Like any entrepreneur, like to everyone, like many entrepreneur are coming in now. Every day budding. So everyone wants the maximum ROI and all. Time is stringy. People, one customer came to there, one of the big brand of India. Annie, I want to launch something at 240 rupees. So my cost should not increase ever 40 rupees. But I need serum, like 3 kind of serum, lip balm and all. I said, okay, very happy that at the first stage also only you are telling me the price range. Otherwise, everything I design, मुझे ये भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए, everything you will ask me to do that. And after that, you will say, no, my price range was just 50 rupees. You are giving 400 rupees. So that is also, the connectivity is very much required when you are working for the formulation R&D. So that is required. So I think these all evidence, commercial, and the innovation all should be interlinked in one. That is the future according to me.
Yes. So that means, ma'am, all these brands like Mamaearth and all these, I just took one name, but all the brands, like they're just marketing, companies. All the products that are being developed is through companies like yours, like where you are working, like based on their
They
requirements.
have recently they have acquired with many company now investing in the R&D. Even the name you have taken, they also acquired one R&D company, one Dharma brand. Doctor said one Dharma ko they work only on the science. Then 4 5 category they are working. So it's not like that ki only one will go. And ultimately, if product is not, it will get rejected from the consumer itself. So long run, you should, whatever you are claiming, it should be there in the as evidence from the consumer side. So fake testimonial will not work. So
Yes.
you need to have the proper testimonial of your product, and definitely it will work. Like if I am feeling like, yeah, this product is good, I'll connect, yeah, for my family. Then yeah, I am using that. You can try it. So word of mouth plus the evidence, testimonial. So people like it should suit me. This is because it's a personal thing. So that is very much important even for the market.
Yes.
So transparency of the ingredient, what they are mixing, pressing. Now, so you can just scan it. You can see proper. Even regulatory part of it. If you read the active composition of any ingredient, you can tell the first is the maximum. Aqua, you will see. Aqua is pani. So what is the maximum? Once you travel to the ingredient, the last one is, maybe they are claiming the last one which they are using just 0.1%.
Yes.
So yeah, it depends. It's a very much informative, and because of our digital thing, everyone knows everything. Even my children knows what is vitamin C and all
Yes.
the hyaluronic acid by seeing the ad and all. So it's very much important.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us on this podcast and sharing your insights on all these topics. Very
Yeah,
interesting one, because great learning experience for me and will be for a lot of audience as well. Thank you
yeah.
so much for taking out time.
Thanks a lot, Rishikesh, for this. Thank you. All the best.